Hey guys, it's Jim Halterman from TV Guide Magazine and TV Insider, and we're talking Hallmark's A Kiss Before Christmas with stars Teri Hatcher and James Denton.
Okay, just remember, I told you this was going to make you question my sanity.
Oh, I'm counting on it.
Yeah, right. I have this problem that I have to solve, but I need somebody to talk with, somebody that I trust. You.
We don't know each other.
About that. I'm not the Ethan Holt that you think I am. Like, it's a long story, but it all started just a few days ago when I met Santa in a train station.
Your movie made me laugh. It definitely brought up some tears towards the end. So it's a really great story.
Exactly what was supposed to happen.
Yes.
Exactly. It's what you want in a Hallmark movie, a little of both. Tell me how this whole thing started, because I think, James, you're an executive producer. You reached out to Teri first. Tell me how that went. And Teri, how long did it take for you to say yes?
Yeah, I had been looking.
Really short. He asked, I said yes.
And here we are. It really was, which is not how I expected it to go, I'll be honest.
Right.
I had been looking for a script to do for the last few years, because I had one in my contract to do a Christmas movie, but they're hard to find because, as you know, there's a sameness to some of them and nothing, and I'm not to disparage at all, but it's hard to find one that they haven't done yet. That was age appropriate, because I'm not a kid and so many of their leads are like 30. So I found this idea and I loved it, but it was dependent on the wife. It was, you had to have the girl. So I told the guys, I said, this one makes sense for me, but let me see if I can get Teri to do it. And they were thrilled. Yeah. So I texted her sort of like, is there any way you would possibly consider? And that day, the same day, she wrote back, I love it. Yeah.
I was
so shocked. Yeah. And then I was too. And then it was off and running. I mean, by then, from that text conversation, we were shooting within weeks. Yeah. And when that all happened, that was like in August.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's all happened this fast, and it's on in 2 weeks.
Now, obviously, you two are used to working together because you did 8 years of Desperate Housewives. But that first scene to shoot this, were there some nerves, or how did you guys find your step together again?
I think the chemistry and the sort of camaraderie and trust between us never went anywhere. It's still like at, full tilt capacity, and that's all totally there. I think for me, he had been on a show for quite a few years, but for me, I hadn't been on a set in a while. And I think I definitely had that first day jitters of like, do I still know how to do this? Like, does this make sense? Is this good? Or do I suck? Like, is this? And but I think that I got over that pretty quickly. But I definitely had it though, for sure.
Yeah, and it really is. It's impossible to describe.
It's like getting back on. Honestly, it's the most obvious comparison, but like getting back on a bike that you haven't ridden in a long time. You're just a little wobbly at first, and then you take off, and you know what you're doing.
Yeah, but I remember during the scene just thinking, this is so. It was almost like a dream, because after all that time had passed, we're right back into the same sort of rhythms, and there's a lot of banter in the script purposely, and so it was really surreal. It was
that part of it felt like strangely like there'd been all this time, but there'd been no time. Like, honestly, it was, I had to kind of remind myself, I'm not on the set of Desperate Housewives. Like, yes. Because we just worked together so much that like, that's my memory of that show. And, but it was great. It was awesome. We had such a good time.
Okay. When the movie opens, we see that Ethan and Joyce are married, but then we kind of go to this alt universe where Ethan kind of gets the life he thinks he wants, and he's not married to Joyce. Some of the most fun scenes I thought was when he's trying to convince her of their past. How we're shooting some of those scenes, because you had to pretend that you didn't really know each other, even though I guess Ethan does know her, but Joyce doesn't.
I love that kind of comedy. And so that was actually really fun for me to get to come from the place where he has to win me over. That was fun.
And part of why I was so adamant about getting Teri to do it is she plays, as you notice, she plays two different characters. She plays my wife in our regular life, where she's a history teacher and a mom. And then when I get to look at what my life would have been like if we hadn't married, she's a super successful, powerful attorney who can't stand me, and very different characters. And it's tricky. It's not an easy thing to do, playing the same character on the same day. Yeah. Some days you would be both Joyces. Right. So it's really fun for me. And also I think part of the fun of it is the audience loves to know more than the characters. So the audience gets to know what's going on with Ethan as I'm trying to convince her, and Joyce is like, you're out of your mind. What is this crazy Santa story? But the audience is in on the joke. And I think that makes it fun to watch.
Yeah, you guys both sell it really well. I loved it. And you both have been on the cover of TV Guide for Desperate Housewives and other things, but this looks really good, I think. What do you guys think of this?
Amazing. I
Very happy.
mean, you know, yeah, 15 years since we've been on the cover together, I think, right?
Yeah, I think it was 06. So
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you
yeah,
for having
it
us
was it was a no-brainer because it was just like, okay, you two back together, it's fantastic.
Great.
Oh, thank
Thanks.
you. We think so.
I think so too. All right, you guys, click the subscribe button below this video and make sure to watch A Kiss Before Christmas on November 21st on the Hallmark Channel.